Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a 50 card PSA submission video, a submission that I'm going to be sending into Graded Gem this month. I'm very excited. Most of these cards, in my opinion, are PSA 8 and 9 condition, a couple 7s, a couple possible 10s, but for the majority of them, 8 to 9. Just a bunch of cards that I bought over the last year and never ended up grading, so... I sent off a few, although, with like a few submissions last year, and they should be coming back in the spring, so I'm really excited for that. But I thought, might as well do a video just to show you guys the stuff that I'm sending in this time. So, I know there's dust here, these mats are impossible to clean, but let's just get right into it. I'm going to tell you guys the prices that I paid for all of them and my grade prediction. We won't go too in depth because, like I said, we got 50 cards to go through here. But I do want to make these videos from here on out to document sort of the collecting process. I love going back and watching, Z&G's old videos, Leonhardt's old videos, and saying, this base set pack was, $100, and now it's I don't know, whatever price it is now, it's crazy. So it's just cool to watch. And with that being said, enough rambling. This base set unlimited Clefairy Hollow I picked up for $24 Canadian. All these dollar figures will be in Canadian, so really awesome. I think this one will grade a 7. I have all these cards in like 10 pack groups, so I'll be going through each one. We got Hitmonchan. This one I bought for $35 Canadian, and I believe this is the one that I thought was going to be an 8. And the reason why I say this one is because I actually have two. I bought both of these for $35. The second one I think will be a 7. The first one I think will be an 8. We got a base set Mewtwo here. Very nice. I believe both of these will be PSA 7s. Maybe one is PSA 8. I'm not sure. The first one that I showed, I believe I bought for $50 Canadian. This one I think I bought for 30. Now this is shipped, everything. That's the total cost of these cards. The base set unlimited Poly Wrath I purchased for $22. And I believe that one's probably PSA 8 condition. This next one, some of these numbers may seem crazy now. I'm not sure what the actual market price is for these cards anymore. Raw. This one, base set Hitmonchan Japanese this time, I believe will be a PSA 8, bought for $11, so very cheap. Same thing here. We got 3 Japanese base set Magnetons, bought for $10.50. Very cheap. I think those will be 9s, possibly 10s. So that is the first little batch. I don't want to make cuts in these videos. I want to keep the editing as simple as possible. So just to show you what I do, I'm going to change it. What I do is I put 10 cards into these like team up bags or whatever. So all the cards in the card savers, and then 10 per into these team up bags. So there's like they're not too jammed in there. And then what I'm gonna do is I bubble wrap them, package them up, put them into a box, and send them off to Graded Gem. Apparently, Z&G was saying that people put each individual card into a team up bag or into a graded bag, whatever you want to call it. There's no point in doing that for every single card. Just group them together into 10, pop them into a bag, and send them off. Some people don't even do that. I personally do it because I don't like the cards shifting around in transit, so that's one solution I found. But we have a few more of these base set Magnetons. All of these I picked up for anywhere from $10 to $10.50. So very cheap, which is nice. I gotta scroll down my Excel file. Now we're at the Jolteon Jungle. This one I think is gonna be a PSA 9. Very beautiful card. I bought for $30 Canadian, which is awesome. This Wigglytuff, $15 Canadian is how much I paid for. It, and I believe it's a PSA 8 contender. So we'll have to see, maybe PSA 9, but I believe PSA 8 was the prediction I had for it previously. Next up, we have the Jungle Scyther. This one's probably PSA 7 or 8 condition. $56 is how much I paid for it, which is nice. These were initially cards I was going to leave in my binder, but I decided to take out and grade because I was thinking you could either have them in the binder or have them graded. Either way, I like the way they look, and if I wanted to sell them, selling them graded is gonna be much easier. So Snorlax, PSA probably 7 or 8. This was also $56 Canadian. And then we have one of my favorite cards in the submission, the Jungle Vaporeon. This one I think is going to be PSA 9. The only thing wrong with it is its centering. It, like, just that artwork is beautiful. Look at that thing. My gosh. And this one I only paid $35 Canadian for, which is insane. That is dumb cheap in my opinion. So very, very nice. We're going to move through. All of these cards are pretty much WotC. I have a couple modern-ish cards, I guess you could call them, and a couple EX era cards as well. Moving on to our third sort of bag or third stack, we have a Japanese fossil Moltres Articuno. I bought this one for a very cheap price of $21 Canadian, and I think this has PSA 9 worthy for sure. I'm pretty sure that the only thing I think was wrong with it was maybe one nick on the back, but as you can see, the centering is like practically perfect on the front, so very, very nice. Next up is Brock's Rhydon. I think this will be PSA 8. $12 Canadian is how much I paid for this. Now you can see there's some edge wear there, so I think that's pretty much it. With that card, $12 Canadian. Erica's Clefable, another $12 Canadian. Off center, a couple nicks, not the best, but very grateful. This one was $10 Canadian. Erica's Vileplume. You can see a nick down there, a nick over there, so not the worst. Okay, sorry, I keep looking over at my Excel spreadsheet. Erica's Venusaur. This is a popular card. $27 Canadian is how much I paid for it. Probably gonna be PSA 8. By the way, all of these cards I'm thinking are gonna be about a PSA 8. A lot of them have shots at being a PSA 9, but I want to be very conservative. Giovanni's Gyarados I bought for $23 Canadian. This one's way more OC, and if it has any nicks on it, I don't remember, but if it has any nicks on it, it's most likely to be an 8. We have Koga's Beedrill, $16 Canadian. Very, very cheap. This one's probably 9 just because of the centering. I don't remember seeing any other nicks on there. This one's definitely going to be an 8, in my opinion. This is Lieutenant Surge's Firo, which is another $16 card. Really nice. Pretty clean. Some nicks on the bottom left, you could see there. So, small things. If those can get 9s, that would be awesome, but I have a good feeling that most likely won't. Lieutenant Surge's Magneton. This was $13 Canadian. I think the only thing wrong with this is sort of centering on the back. This may be a 9, which would be nice, not 8 or 9. This Rockets Hitmonchan, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a 8, if I remember correctly. Centering is all right, not bad. There any, yeah, that like for example that corner, yeah, it's definitely an 8. So not 9s. A couple of them definitely have chances at getting 9s, but like I said, I don't want to be ignorantly optimistic. I would like to be relatively realistic with everything. So we're getting through the gyms, moving on to some Neo, some of my favorite stuff for sure, my favorite cards. We have, first off, the Neo Discovery Houndour. $20 Canadian is how much I paid for it. Most likely going to be a PSA 9, slightly off center. I don't remember there being anything else wrong with the card. One of my favorite artworks ever. We have the Kabutops. $16 Canadian is how much I paid for this. That's an absolute steal. Definitely PSA 9 in my opinion. I don't see any dinks anywhere. Just the centering is off. Now, I already sent off 1 or 2 a while, like from my submissions last year, and they were definitely 9-10 quality as well. This Aerodactyl is $24 Canadian. Again, a steal. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this card. I think it's a Gem Mint 10, guaranteed. Nothing wrong with the foiling, not off center, no dinks. Very, very nice. We have the Starmie from Neo Revelation. $14 Canadian is how much I paid for it. Pretty good, off center, but that's about it. We have the Dark Ampharos, $19 Canadian. I'm shocked. I have these all in a spreadsheet. I'm shocked I only paid 19 bucks for these cards. So this one's probably an 8. Got Nyx here. Very nice. We got the Dark Crobat, $16 Canadian. This one's a beautiful card. Got Nyx on the bottom. This one's definitely a PSA 8, maybe 7 even if they're going real harsh. So not bad. We got a fan favorite, the Dark Gengar, $27 Canadian is how much I paid for it. Well off center, dinks on the bottom, PSA 7 or 8, hopefully an 8. I don't know. We'll have to see. We got the Dark Scizor. These are all, by the way, Neo Destiny. You could tell by the set symbol there. This one was only $17 Canadian. Probably PSA 9. No dinks anywhere, no scratches. By the way, none of these cards have hollow scratches. I'm not showing the hollow, but none of them have hollow scratches. They're just off center, so probably PSA 9 there. We got another doozy for very cheap. The Light Togetic, $16 Canadian. An absolute steal. Banged up in the bottom though, so PSA 8, but still, look at that artwork. That's a beautiful card. And then to finish off the Neo era, we have the Dark Typhlosion. $23 is how much I spent on this. $23 Canadian. Nick in the bottom right hand corner and left hand corner. Probably a PSA contender. I already have one, I believe, off being graded. That was a 10 contender. So hopefully you'll see some PSA 10 returns in the near future. That would be awesome. That is it. And the final stack of 10 cards, we have one of my favorite cards of the entire submission, the Rocket Scyther. I bought this for a total of $89 Canadian, so definitely steeper, but I love it. PSA 8 is my guess because of the centering, but really it has a small shot at a 9, so we'll hope for, fingers crossed, hope for a 9. We have the Neo Genesis Heracross. I only bought this because I played through Heart Gold a little while ago, and I had to get me one of my favorite team members. I don't, whatever you want to call it. This guy absolutely slapped up. You know what I'm talking about if you played those games. Probably PSA 8 has some hollow scratches, and it's OC. Next up, we have some interesting ones. Now, these are just a flat $50. At least I'm pretty sure is how much I paid for them. I think I paid $150 for the entire set of the starter decks. The Japanese, essentially, what's considered in? Is it called considered EX Deoxys? I think it's like Holland Towers or something. You can see there by the set symbol. Anyways, the Flareon was a little bit banged up because of the way they were packaged in those decks, but this was $50 Canadian. Definitely PSA 9 contender. I don't think any of these are... Oh, PSA 5. I don't think any of these are PSA 10 or either one of these two because I also have the Jolteon. But definitely 9s. This one has a ding there, so maybe PSA 8, I guess. 7 or 8. So that's unfortunate. But those were both $50. This one was $18 Canadian. The Deoxys EX. Very nice. Definitely a PSA 9 contender. Maybe 10, but I think it's too OC to be 10. This Salamence EX was $30 Canadian. Very nice. I'm pretty sure that's a PSA 9 contender as well. And then some cards that I packed over... It's been since last spring, I think. We have Shining Arceus. OC as heck, so probably PSA 8. Unless they give me the 9 OC grade, but I doubt it. Pack fresh. We have the Shining Celebi, which was nice. I just put a flat $25 for all these. I don't know how much they actually cost. They came from one of the pin collections or one of those collection things. So maybe an 8 or 9. I'd love to get a 9 at any of these because we still have 2 more. We got the Shining Lugia. Definitely 8 or 9 quality, possibly 8. And then this Shining Mew, which I packed. I was very excited about it. I think it's going to be a 9. It's slightly OC. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it except for a couple factory nicks, but probably 9, possibly an 8. Either way, I'd just love to have this card graded. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you did enjoy. Let me know how I can do this better the next time I do it, because I've decided that I'm gonna do or follow the approach that the bigger sellers do, send off smaller amounts every month. This is a bigger amount than what I normally would send off, but that's only because I want to get some inventory back a little bit faster, if that makes sense. So um, we got our full setup, 50 cards I'm gonna be sending off, and then I'll probably do 20 to 30 cards a month after that. So I'll make videos to that. I still got probably 70, 100 cards left to grade on top of I'm going to be buying new cards as well, especially with some of the cards that come back in my submissions from last year. We got like the Neo 1 Lugia, a couple base set like Mewtwo, um, Evo Holo Charizard, and Reverse, which I think both had a shot at a PSA 10, which would be absolutely insane. The only cards I'm really going to keep are probably PSA 8s because most of the cards I send in I really like, but if they're PSA 8, they're not really worth selling. But I will be selling 9s and 10s, so I'm going to use some of the funds from the submissions I get back. Hopefully, a bunch of 9s and 10s. I'm going to sell them on my eBay. You could check that out. LKG collects as well. And then I'm going to be taking some of that money, buying more cards, sending off more cards for the submissions. So a lot to come on the channel. I was like, initially I wasn't going to do anything, but I thought might as well document this. I've totaled up these 50 cards raw. Cost me $1,193, so just shy of $1,200 with grading, shipping, all of that. I'm gonna guesstimate that it's gonna cost me a total of $2,000. So this is roughly a $2,000 Pokemon card submission. I would not be surprised if these grade and come back, and if the market is still at where it's at right now, I would not be surprised if this is a $3,000-4,000 return, maybe more. Who knows where the market will be? But that is it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like. If you're new, subscribe. Peace.